show for us here. We're in our last match of the day for today. It's going to be Team Blue versus Team Green, as you see there highlighted on your screen. So we'll decide the winner of the series right now. Team Green has a victory, Team Red has a victory. So we'll see if Team Blue can maybe pull one out as well, but there are some tiebreaker values there. Obviously, the map wins, the number of rounds they win will matter here, because everybody's in the lobby. The map has been chosen. Again, we are going through the same cadence of maps as the last two series have been. So we're starting on Suburbia and then moving to Quarantine, and only going to Bazaar if there is a need, if there is a tie series. So if somebody...
Yep.
If Team Blue takes Suburbia and Team Green takes Quarantine, then we'll be playing Bazaar. Otherwise, it is first to two map wins. I'm excited, guys. I mean, we haven't seen Team Blue since the first round. Yes. Any thoughts? I mean, you think they've been watching, they've been learning from our little call-outs? You think we're going to see a refreshed Team Blue here? Sleepy, what are your thoughts?
I think they were really starting to get it together there at the end of their first match against Team Red, when they ended up, ultimately losing it in the third one. But, they put up a heck of a fight all the way through. They seem to know definitely how to play the game at its very base, and even towards the intermediate plus levels. But there were some coordination, some communication issues that needed to be worked out, which they were seemingly working out through the course of that first match. So I do think that they'll be a lot more competitive against Team Green right out of the gate here on Suburbia than we saw against Team Red, where they had to kind of come back from a deficit with a 2-cap victory. But we know that they have the potential, because again, we watched them get 2 caps on this map against the first opponent in their first series. So it's a very good chance that they could do some damage here, but we'll have to also see kind of how Team Green takes it, because if Viper goes a little too hard again, Blue might be ready for it, because the players from Team Blue also had the opportunity to kind of jump in and watch that last section to get a feel for what Team Green was going to do.
Yeah, absolutely. Gameplay, though, is underway.
Guys, I had to break it to you. He's doing it. I made it happen.
He made it happen. So we've got Lonely Viper using a non-long range gun for this last round. We were having a little discussion there off screen in the intermission saying, hey, Lonely Viper is he's known for the sniper rifle. He's known for how strong he is. So we gave him a little challenge as casters to use a different loadout for this match. So we'll see how that shakes out. Very exciting stuff. Thank you, Radar, for heading that up. Glad we could throw a little spice into this game. Yeah, Lonely Viper.
I just feel like now I'm Viper's personal camera.
Classically, in Onward, the shotgun is not really favorably used by anyone on any map, not even on the small maps. It's very, very rarely seen. So I've challenged Lonely Viper to use it non-stop, only throughout all of the maps, even on Quarantine, where we saw him doing ultra-long range snipes.
Oh, it's so exciting. Oh, thank you, Radar.
Devil, Radar. No wonder Boss Fight uses devils in their Discord usernames.
Oh, that is a fantastic development, folks, and this is the kind of stuff that we love. For this fun tournament, we thought it'd be nice to shake things up a little bit. Obviously, Lonely Viper very strong with those long-range weapons. We'll see what he can do when put into something outside of his comfort zone.
Left side, middle mansion, or middle house.
We got an aggressive push here from Dr. Oculus. Lonely Viper was able to identify him by audio. Hasn't peeked out to really take any shots here.
God, thinking about it now, as a player who plays in the traditional way Onward is playing, he gets the hit on him with the shotgun from range. You heard the wince there, but I wonder how difficult it is as one of those more experienced players. And geez, the AK-12 Project Jamesify finds the pick on the Dr. Oculus to help Viper out. Steve knows he'll take down MRTV in the backside. Steve and Lonely Viper right here. Nope, he's going to avoid death.
Like a greased chicken. I mean, he sprinted out of there. Just ducked out the bullets. Eric for President, meanwhile, picking up a nice kill there on the backside, evening things out. Now it's a 3v3 early in this series, and Lonely Viper with a nice down onto Steve. That shotgun still has not an inconsequential amount of range on it.
Yeah, I think even he's surprised that he got that kill. He looked down at the gun. He's like, with a shotgun, what? He seemed very alerted at the fact that he was able to get that from such range. I mean, effectively, that is a shotgun. That's well within a shotgun's range. It's not going to be very accurate unless he's using slug rounds. which I hope you challenged him to only use slug rounds.
He just picked up a gun off of the play. Lonely Viper, no. He's got a scoped gun now.
Bad Viper.
Dang it, Viper. We should have added more rules to this. Eric for President, meanwhile, does find Nisi on the burning side. Lonely Viper trading out with Alex VR, and that's going to leave a 1v1 as our honestly, Eric here could cap. Jamesify is not prepared for this.
He's not even looking at it. He's just completely focused over towards that center house.
He's checking
Viper
that code.
makes the call. Yeah, I mean, I think Eric got both cap. No, I think Alex might have gotten the first cap. Yeah, Alex got the first cap in the garage, and Eric got the second cap later in the northeastern or northwestern part of the street at White Car. So wouldn't be unlikely for Eric to get the cap here.
Now Jamesify's looking, though. All that time spent. Jamesify, is he going to spot him underneath the track? He does get the aim down pat in the end, and Eric for President goes down. Jamesify saving Team Green a potential cap there in that series. Very nicely done.
You heard the the joy in Project Jamesify then as he got the kill. He's like, whoa! You know, because he's not had a high kill ratio in all of the maps. He's got 2 kills on the first round of this new map against a new team that he hasn't faced yet, and obviously over the moon that alone he managed to save the day. And I honestly thought for a second there that was going to be a cap. If Eric had been a bit quicker before Project Jamesify realized the situation, that could have been a very different outcome. Viper with the shotgun still showing that he's deadly.
That's that confidence thing that we were talking about, right? Is having the confidence to push out to the objective and take that chance. You know, these players they're playing, you know, kind of low risk, right? They're trying to stay alive as long as they can, but there is an element of risk you have to take to really try and capitalize, and that's a good example right there of where taking the chance could have really paid off for them. But, you know, again, something you develop over time playing this game, not something you're expected to have day one. Yes, really nice to see Project Jamesify coming alive as well. I know he struggled a little bit in the early series of that last that match against Team Red. So it's really great to see him starting to pick up a couple of kills here, getting his footing and clutching that round. You can tell the sort of excitement that you feel when you're the one who's, you know, responsible for the victory of your team. And it's really great to see that. And we'll see how the rest of these rounds shake out. And perfect timing. Thank you, teams, for matching the cadence of my casting there. And now we're ready for our second round of play.
Fix my height issue, by the way. I don't get that.
Oh, good.
Market. I can actually not have scoliosis for a match.
A little discussion there about positioning.
The whole calf in that first round.
All right,
I don't know what.
Eric for President playing with a bit of a... Oh, no, Lonely Viper. That is that pre-fire that they were warned about earlier. Lonely Viper with a nice picks. Those are reses that are still available, but now he's... Lonely Viper's rotated out. Eric for President going to be in danger here if he peeks this for too long. He's got to make it quick. Is he going to spot Lonely Viper? He does. The shots come out. Viper ducks the bullets, but not quite enough. Eric for President with a fantastic long-range shot dealing with Lonely Viper. I don't think he got that pre-fire with a shotgun, by the way. I'm just going to call Lonely Viper out on what it seems to be a relatively suspect.
I think our analyst's radar head is making notes of all his actions.
Yeah. We're gonna penalize him outside of the context of this tournament. We'll take it offline for that. But either way, Team Green losing a player there. Both members of Team Blue being revived. Now the defense at full strength yet again.
Smoke's out in the lane 3, trying to give some coverage. A good lay on the smoke, actually. It covers pretty much the entire lane that can be seen from the south side of it. But nobody's moving on it, so really kind of I don't know if it was thrown as a distraction technique or if it was intended to be moved on, but no one is currently using it. And, you know, we talk about it a little bit more in the league, and we haven't really talked about it much here because there's not really a need to harp on these players about it. But, you know, when you throw stuff like that, of course, unless it's intended and we don't know about it as casters, and oh no, the team killing has begun as Alex finds Eva just after MRTV is grabbed by Dr. Oculus.
Yeah, this has been a Team Blue staple so far, these unfortunate team kills coming out. at the wrong time, and that was a down and out. There was no res there. Skiva had been downed earlier by Lonely Viper's pre-fire, so he was not going to be eligible for another revive after that down. So that is going to even things out quite a bit more, and it's a 4v3 with the res available on the Team Green side.
So I dare say that Viper maybe again getting punished for underestimating the enemy team.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, he was really thinking he was free and clear in that lane 4. Ooh, nice pick there from Alex VR onto Jamesify as he pushes in through lane 2.
And Nicky going to get the revive onto Sebastian in the smoke. A little bit difficult considering how the smokes have been behaving since the 1.8 patch. Dr. Oculus will find the refrag onto his initial kill, which was MRTV. So unfortunately, the res from Nicky. And yes, it is Nicky. Noman, I was corrected again. I guess I misread their text earlier.
Goodness,
I just
Sleepy.
need pronunciation, guys.
I got whiplash here, okay? And Alex VR with that final pick onto the hotly contested name Nicky. Finally, we have some kind of clarity there. Team Blue will take the victory there and even things out 1-1.
Solid defense by Team Blue. They're confident defense. They held the back. They held the lines. They didn't overpeak. They kept it tight, and they shut down Team Green's advance from every direction, bar none. Team Blue still in it to win it. We're only 2 rounds in. It's looking fantastic, and this is exactly what I wanted to see. 1 point apiece, and neither team showing any real dominance at the moment. So let's see how this goes.
I mean, Eric for president really... I think he was the linchpin there in knocking Viper out. You know, it's really who kills Viper first, right? Because you're really leveling the playing field when you do that. Because it's not just Viper shooting that I'm talking about, though. He does have that awareness of the map. He's got the call-outs to his team, and he's keeping them on track. So when he's off the field, you're taking away not just a shooter, but a tactical mind, right? A radio beacon for the rest of the team. And it's a big pickup, especially early in that round. You saw how Team Green struggled a little bit to push out from that center lane, and I think that had a good bit to do with it. So
I don't think anyone would hold anything against Viper if he decides not to use a shotgun.
No,
of
course.
At the end of the day, they are playing for a real prize pool. You know, there is a real
Yeah.
prize behind this. So, I mean, there's good sportsmanship, and there's taking it seriously. You know, the rest of the team are still relying on everyone to bring their A game. So we'll see. I mean, it'll be fun to see if Viper brings the shotgun more. But he doesn't have to by any stretch of the imagination. But it's just for the sake of the view, really, isn't it? It's because we want to see a challenge, and Viper, as we know, is a deadly sniper, and it'd be great to see if his skills can transfer to the shotgun. And here we go into round 3.
That's right. Team Green, they're all excited. The callouts are coming out.
I don't even know who to cheer for now. My Team Red is gone.
I'm cheering for everybody. Everybody wins here.
Everyone wins. Lonely Viper grabbing the first kill out early on the Dr. Oculus.
It's gonna send that grenade out, and this is a good use right there. That confirms Steve just barely missing that grenade by a millimeter. The confirm will come out there. Nice little nade toss confirm. Well, the defense now has largely set up. Not a lot of rotations coming out from anybody. Give a looking through this window. He does spot Nicky up there in the window. A nice pick there, but Lonely Viper quick on the rotation for the res. One thing we haven't talked a lot about is having kill count, an accurate kill count on your team. And we saw Skiva there. We actually heard him call out, and he's got one down. But it's a dangerous thing to assume that you have killed somebody completely, because now there's a res out, and the team may be operating with the assumption that there are only 4 players, and that really can throw you off in the end game. If you don't have an accurate count, you assume that somebody's alone in a building, and then they actually end up having 2 folks in there. It's a big swing, so something to be very cautious of.
Or even as you get down into late game, you want to go for a cap. It's nice to know if there's 3 people that you have to worry about looking at the satellite uplink, or if there's just 2, or if there's 1. And if you hold the man advantage, and you can take one of your people and basically send them on a distractory flank to try and get their attention while you sneak up underneath them. There's a lot of advantages to having that intel, and that's one of the things that I preach as a caster and even as a player. is communication, and intel is key in this game. I mean, yes, being able to shoot and being able to throw grenades where you need them and send uplinks is important, but the basics are still very much, you know, a part of this game. And not communicating and not being able to give your team the intel they need is going to cause real bad problems. Nikki going to find Skiva. Alex will return and get a frag onto Lonely Viper, while Steve finds Nikki through the window.
Yeah, cleaning that up is a huge pick. I wonder if there's going to be a rotation for Eric. He hasn't been calling out for a res. I wonder if he, again, is just not aware that you can reach down and grab that radio, click the button, and communicate with your team. Tough call.
I'm starting to wonder if that's being an issue, because you know how, you know, as players we have the experience in the game, but sometimes the body can fall and the radio can sometimes be either obscured by all your gear, like your body laying on the ground or other things. So they might not see where their radio is, so they might not know to reach to that particular spot for the radio, or, you know, maybe there's some kind of height malfunction that's not working with, you know, having to use the Cybershoes, but I don't think that's probably the case. I think maybe it's just being obscured by the equipment. Because I've oftentimes been down and looked around in the pile and been like, where is my freaking radio? So I just reach down and grab into the pile and hope I grab the radio.
Yeah, I think we've all been in that panic state. I gotta tell my team. Just try to find. As soon as I hear the radio click, I know I've got
Press
it.
all the buttons.
We're down to a minute and a half. Team Blue does have technically 3, but only 2 standing members.
Good sight line onto Project Jamesify. If he just takes a look, and there it is. How does he? Doesn't see it, and Project Jamesify is going to capitalize, find the pick onto Alex, and that's one less defender to worry, or one less attacker to worry about. 1 minute left on the clock as we count down. Steve knows is pretty much all by himself here. He sees MRTV in the window, but the trade does not go his way. 1 member left for Team Green means they take the round.
He is bummed about that kill. He is really hoping he was going to get it, but no dice for him, and Team Green takes the lead yet again, 2-1.
Yeah, Team Green's defense not quite as solid as Team Blue's, but it still holds the line, and that's what matters. Even without Viper to potentially, you know, in bunny ears lead it, Team Green still able to hold that line, and it's lucky that it did. What went down when it did, because Project Jamesify kind of threw away his gun by accident as that was all going down. So if that had not been a trade, Project Jamesify was going to be in a very, very, very bad situation, being only literally meters away from the aggressor without a weapon. So as it turns out, Team Green doesn't quite luck out, but had a lucky exit there that could have been much, much worse than it was. And Team Green, 2 points up now to Team Blue, with the defense holding every single round so far.
Yeah, absolutely. We joke about it, but I don't even know who to root for anymore. You know, everybody's doing
seriously
so fantastic. It's been a really good set of games so far today, and we really couldn't have asked for anything better. You know what I mean? We sort of glance over it, but nobody wants to see a blowout. You know, obviously the teams don't want to see a blowout. That's never fun. You always want to have a challenging game and feel like you're fighting for every point, and these guys are fighting for literally every step in their. I'm gonna bring it back to the Cybershoes side of things. They're really having to run for it, so to speak. And it's really awesome to see these tight score lines in these very challenging games. A little bit more pre-fire coming in there from Steve as he fires down lane 2, but no one in the area to catch any of those bullets. Starting to hear some smokes coming out. That's exciting.
So here's an aspect that just occurred to me. You know, if you're Team Green or Team Blue, you're playing this now for maybe 2 hours, 2.5 hours approaching, and you're using potentially muscles that you've not really used that much. You know, in the position where they sit down doing that running position, it's a different set of muscles to if you're actually standing up and running. You know, it's still great exercise and it still adds to the immersion, but it might be a muscle group you don't tend to use. I'm wondering if they're going to be starting to feel that burn by about now, if it's really starting to wear them down, and if they're going to be feeling that burn tomorrow. You know, if they're going to be feeling those aches and pains.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it was Eric for President saying in one of the rounds, or after one of the rounds, he was really feeling having to use his legs and his feet in order to move around and such. But I could be wrong. I could be misplacing it. There's a lot of VRs in names today, so it's really throwing me off. There's Alex VR, Gamertag VR, VR gamer dude, Dr. Oculus VR. Of course, Sleepy VR and Noman VR and all of us.
We're all VR.
Well,
Everything's
it's
VR. VR all day, every day, 100 days. Some things. So yes, no, it has been. I think that's a good point. Team Green is coming fresh out of a round already. They've been running. You know.
Yeah.
Blue had a little bit of a break, so they're coming in a little fresher into this round, and maybe that's coming into effect here.
The ice baths.
Yeah, the ice baths.
Go back to the dugout and get the ice baths for the old muscles.
I'd love to see the ice baths there. Alex VR sending a bunch of pre-fire down, but Lonely Viper gonna shut down that dream. And that's gonna make it a 3v2. Team Blue on the defense, feeling a lot of the pressure. Nikki confirming her earlier pick onto Skiva. Now she might find the back of Steve knows if she
turn around.
Yeah, if she pops his corner. Sebastian going down, but Nikki finding the pick onto Steve, and now the offense looking real good here. Team Green coming in clutch. Gamertag VR taking out Dr. Oculus is just going to leave one member of the defense in the back here. Eric for president. We're going to number over here. I had a hard time finding him. He is the last remaining member of the defense. He's got essentially a full team of green to deal with. Only Viper's on the warpath towards the objective, and now Eric rotating to cover the objective. He's got that awareness. This is what he needs. Viper coming in. What a nice peek from Viper. Popping up, getting the headshot, securing that round for Team Green, and they take the first multi-point lead here in the first map.
Viper really supporting. I think he has pulled back a little bit. I think he's not trying to be the one to do everything right, the one to get the caps and like the really crucial points in the team. Like he's kind of pulling back his personal experience and his expertise, if you will, on the field, and still helping his team. Obviously, still helping them be very competitive, but making it more about them. Since you know this tournament isn't about our players, it isn't about any of the folks who happen to be content creators who are already VRML participants. Like we're great and very thankful that any of those people are members of our community already and content creators at the same time, because that's a huge commitment, as content creation itself can take up a lot of one's time, let alone committing yourself to a competitive team for esports. So a lot of props to everyone for being able to do that. So I think Viper does seem to be showing signs of kind of drawing back a little bit. He's not really like being as aggressive as I felt like he was against Team Red. Maybe that's because he was up against Proper D and Soulfox, who were also people who he knew have experience in both shooters and in the VRML, so maybe he felt a little more justified in being able to stretch his legs a little bit more, if you will, on this competition. But it does seem like now he's letting his team do more of the like really crucial things, like the caps and the final approaches. So obviously there he got the kill, but you know, what was he to do? Just die?
I feel I'm sorry, Sleepy, but I with all due respect, I completely disagree with you. I think he's got a grudging respect for Team Blue now. He's I feel like, you know, he died very quickly in 2 rounds. You know, in 1 round he died almost, you know, within the first 30 seconds. And I think he saw that his team, without him to give like those little nuggets of knowledge, kind of suffered for it. And I really think that he's valuing his own life and not underestimating Team Blue potentially as much as he did. You're absolutely right. He's leaning more on his team and trying to be less of a one-man army. But I think part of that is the knowledge that he brings to the table. So I think I don't think maybe it was the way I interpreted it, but it almost felt like you were saying he's giving Team Blue a bit more of a chance. But I don't think that's true. I think he's giving them less of a chance and relying more on his team by keeping himself alive and feeding them the data they need to push forward, because he knows that if he goes down, then I think that is one of the reasons we saw the shotgun get put away after that first round, right? He said, okay, I need to be a little bit more combat effective if I'm going to stay alive and give the team a chance. You know, again, we mentioned you still want to be competitive. Obviously, there's prizes on the line, so that there might be some of that coming in. And you know, he's leading the team for kills. It doesn't always mean everything, but it does have an impact on the outcome of most of these rounds. So. Well, we'll see. We've still got quite a few rounds to go and at least 1 more map to go to see how things shake out. But we are ready to get underway here in our 5th round of the series. So this is one of the most telling situations about a team and how good they are and the kind of gumption they have is when they're 3-1 down on a map. Do they fall apart or do they bring it together? It's a really telling thing about the strength of a team. And especially a team this young. What are we going to see? Are we going to see them break under the pressure? Or are we going to see Team Blue rise like a phoenix?
Ooh, I love phoenixes. Phoenixi? Phoenix? I don't know what the plural of phoenix is. Phoenix. Phoenix. I'm gonna go with Phoenix. I like Phoenix.
I like it. We're going with Phoenix.
Let's see if Team Blue is a team of Phoenix.
Well, you know what? Team Blue was the comeback kid on this map in the first round.
Absolutely.
They had a, what was it, a 3-point deficit, a 2-point deficit or something like that, and they came back and capped twice.
They did.
Back
they
to
did
back.
Indeed. Dr. Oculus, there it is, finding Sebastian the first pick. Lonely Viper being aggressive.
Someone at the back.
Steve knows, getting caught by Jamesify in that same position. Jamesify used that in that last round. There's a shotgun again from Lonely Viper. He switched back. They've got a comfortable
Maybe
lead.
on
He can go back to the
defense, he feels
shotgun.
more
Well, I think it's the lead, right? They've got a bit of a lead. He's got some play.
Yeah. It's a valuable one. Oh, and there was C4, the first one we've seen, first one I've seen get chucked today. Vipers tossed one out in the lane 2 sandbags. But I don't think he's actually going to have much effect with it because I don't see any of Team Blue going down that lane.
Alex VR here.
Interestingly,
Oh, go ahead.
Viper is rocking a Molotov, a lit Molotov on his chest. I really want to see him accidentally throw that in and burn himself. I'm sorry, I just do.
Oh, a trade from Project Jamesify and Eric. And Alex VR on the inside of the house finds Nikki. Now Lonely Vipers forcibly rotating here. The res will come out.
A risky res, but he goes for it and gets it. Nice play there from Viper, but definitely could have been a downfall. If Skivo would have been just watching the stairs right where Alex was previously, it could have been a double.
Dr. Oculus applying pressure. Nikki has to duck out of the way of those bullets, and the pressure's coming in on all sides. Alex VR, though, the unfortunate team kills yet again. It feels like Alex VR and Skiva are going back and forth on each other. Lonely Viper is going to catch the backside of Skiva, though, and now it's a 1v3 as Alex VR stays down.
Viper.
Unfortunately, he did actually set the enemy team on fire, not himself. Disappointment reigns all around.
Yeah. Well, I mean, to be fair, Skiva kind of like in a panic, knowing that stuff was not going right for him, kind of started to walk into the fire, and then Viper just shotgunned him into it.
The shot's coming out from the corner. That's going to ID that last member of the offense. They should have a relatively accurate count, but we didn't see a ton of people reacting off of that, and Alex VR still alive on the first floor there.
Hey, they're at the top of the
Would be able to give out some call-outs.
Viper, I wish I wasn't running so much. He's used to his cushy lifestyle of using his thumbsticks and trackpads to move himself around on the map. He's getting himself winded. And that's a lot, I mean, because it takes a lot to not only kick your legs around in order to move, but also to flap your jaws that much, because that takes a lot. Take it from me, as another fellow person who talks a lot. Takes a lot of
We're
energy
casters
to do
for a
that.
reason, folks. That's our charge.
I don't not like to talk, let's put it that way.
Exactly.
They're waiting for it, though.
Dr. Oculus on the inside here of lane 2.
Right now.
He's checking that code. I like where his headspace is at, but he's
I'm telling you, that has been my favorite part of this. Like, no matter the circumstance, they've always gone for it, both sides. Like, whether it's protecting the cap, whether it's going for the cap, like, they've just gone for it. They're like, screw it. We're going for it. Go for glory. And I think Dr. Oculus is seeing unfortunate.
Viper with the blind fire out of the window. Finds Dr. Oculus and finds themselves the Suburbia win as they go up 4-1 here in map 1.
It's super cheeky, and it's another one of the examples of why VR, like FPSs and VR, are so much fun. And add that that dimension that you just can't possibly get in a 2D game. Just being able to stick your hands out the window and just blind fire like in real life and get that kill. It's so gratifying when you get that. Like, really, I mean, it is lucky. Obviously, there's an element of skill there and judgment, but also there's an element of luck. That blind fire, like round the corner, picking up that kill, just brilliant. Absolutely brilliant.
Yeah, it's really been incredible. You can actually kind of watch some of the transformation as these players get a bit more comfortable with the Cybershoes, with the equipment, and with the game. Like, Blue was looking a little shaky starting off, and I don't know if maybe they weren't able to get enough time, or in some cases, I do believe some of these participants may not have been able to receive their equipment in time just due to everything going on globally at the moment. I could be wrong. Please don't quote me there. So we could be seeing, inexperience on the equipment themselves, on the Cybershoes themselves, being a cause for less than even what they would want out of themselves in a normal game, right? Like, you can't expect to come in. Even myself, I wouldn't expect to put on a pair of Cybershoes and jump in this tournament and perform like I would in a VRML League match when I'm playing, with normal constraints and things like that I'm used to. So, there's definitely something to be said for someone who's not even used to playing the game on a regular basis, I should say, because I'm pretty sure most people have played Onward if they're a VR content creator, unless they just don't do shooter genres in general for whatever reasons. So I do feel like I've seen a lot of the skill and a lot of the movement speeds even from like Team Blue and some of the other individual players just increasing as the rounds have gone. So I think that's also helping us get a little bit better of the round-to-round matchups as we've gone into throughout the day.
Yeah, it has been a very diverse series, right? I mean, we've seen comebacks, we've seen great caps, we've seen awesome teamwork. It's been a real blast to watch this stuff. Everybody, like I was saying in match 2, everybody should be proud of their performances here today, considering the limitations, considering the lack of practice time, right? I mean, this tournament came about pretty short notice. I mean, relatively speaking, it's still weeks, but quite a bit of prep work has to be done. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
so
bear in mind, I mean, the content creators are
Sebastian,
generally playing all types of games as well, so they're trying to fit practice for this game in between all of the content creation as well as the, whatever else they have going on in their lives. It's really impressive to see how they've come cohesively together as teams.
Absolutely.
Well, let's see how they've come together here as the second map kicks off. Quarantine is that map. Team Green on the offense, Team Blue on the defense. We'll see. They've got that Volk advantage that we talked about a little bit earlier. So if they can win their defensive rounds, they don't even have to win Marsox. They can take this map that way. But that's a
very smart north smoke there. I don't know if you happen to catch that, but they threw it out from the rock near the armored trucks. It landed perfectly and blotted out that normal kind of pre-fire, pre-aggression corner from the north rooftop that you see a lot of, more seasoned League players take up for defense. So that was a great kind of counter to that and allowed all 3 of their members, MRTV, Nikki, and Project Jamesify, to push up this northern route completely unopposed.
Yeah, this is going to be a nice boost for them. But one of the things we talk about is coordination, and it's going to come down to, will they sync up with the players out there in the east with Gamertag and Lonely, Viper, who are still at the motel in the Far East, closer to the spawn? If they can synchronize their approach, they can really put a lot of pressure onto this Team Blue defense. But if they come in disjointed, gives the defense ample opportunity to pick off, one side then the other. So they've got to keep that in mind, and we'll see what happens. We've already burned 1.5 minutes, and there has been very little contact in terms of gunfire from either side so far. So Team Green's gonna have to put those Cybershoes into high gear.
Yeah, they sure are. There was a call out from Project Jamesify there a moment ago, calling out one of the members of the defense. It's more than likely going to have been Skiva, but he managed to see them over, I'm assuming, on little red platforms here in the far west that have been recently added, and he called it out. So they did have some idea of where someone was. Eric for President, though, and Gamertag VR are going to trade it out. Eric still downed on the roof, and Gamertag still up there by the Humvee. Viper probably soon to hop out there and grab that res.
Yeah, that's a good call-out position for Eric. He's going to be able to give that intel to the rest of his team about that Team Green approach, but the res is going to be pretty risky. I don't think that they will opt to force this rotation. And that's exactly what Lonely Viper is. You can see the laser kind of panning around. That's exactly what he's looking for, is anybody crossing the street to try to get that res. And that's that awareness, right? He's aware that most likely the team is stacked up on the objective rather than, out on the out and about on the map somewhere. Let's check in with our Team Green folks here in the Northwest. Looks like I like this, though. Like they're coming together as a team. What's nice about this is the refrag opportunities, right? One person goes down, you can quickly pop the corner and try to revenge your teammate, to revenge them, and get that refrag. So I like this moving together. This is a really nice call on their part. And they're slowly coming in here. They might be able to catch Team Blue unawares. Ooh, are we seeing a rotation? We are. Alex VR going for this res, and in fact,
Jamesify might see Skiva here, and he does, finds the pick. Alex VR still going up for the res, but I think, yes, Project actually sees him on the roof as well, so Project's going to pull back to reload just as Alex looks to get the revive, but I haven't seen the revive come in, and I didn't see Alex VR go down. What happened to Alex VR? Did he...
Wait, he's back in...
How did he get back there?
How did he get back there?
It looks like he's trying to figure... Yeah, he was standing there trying to figure it out himself somehow.
Interesting. So our first our first game potential bug there. That's an interesting teleport mechanic, but Alex VR
Honestly,
gonna capitalize on that situation and get a little refrag.
That just saved Alex's life because Jamesify had the angle and the advantage up until Alex was warped back into the middle of the map from down south.
Oh my goodness, the damage that this is causing.
Yeah, luckily luckily for Team Green, Gamertag and Viper are just outside the building now. And Viper's capping. I didn't even realize that Viper's out. Gamertag's capping. They're both capping. Everyone's capping. Who got it? Who got it?
It's cap life for everybody.
They both got it at the same time. We've had our first joint cap. They capped at the same time. They were both given the cap point.
Wow, fantastic.
Oh, wait, no, I'm sorry. No, they weren't. I was looking at kills.
Oh, okay.
Gamertag with the cap.
Gamertag. Good. He stole it back from Lonely Viper. I'm proud of him. But, yeah, that is Team Green going up 2 points here on that nice cap down. We didn't even spot them crossing in the west there.
Unfortunate for Team Blue because they were doing pretty well on the defense. I mean, fine, they'd lost 2 members, were down, not out, but they, with what happened with Alex failing to get that res and getting the teleport back, he then got picked up 2 kills. And the defense was looking solid. If he'd come back out on the rotation, maybe 3 seconds sooner, he would have picked up Viper and Gamertag VR, which would have put Team Green down to 1 active player, which would have, again, it's a flip of the coin situation. That hesitation in this game can mean the difference between victory or defeat.
It's one of the things I really enjoy about watching, rookie teams in the VRML, and what I really liked about, the sort of concept of this is that kind of sort of natural, the way a lot of these plays come about naturally for these people and how they adapt to situations that otherwise to them may not be standard, may not be something that they've been prepared for. Team Green's got their little chant. I like that. This time Gamertag VR was a part of it. He did manage to snake that cap from Lonely Viper, so I think he's from the snack. He snuck it from the snack. Snuck
and snacks.
Very good
Snuck
to see
snacks.
that team loving
Viper's in
each other.
snacks.
Don't give him any ideas, okay? He doesn't need any more.
I want to give him ideas. I love when he runs with my ideas because he takes them to really extreme levels, and it just cracks me the freak up.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll see if he can crack this offense. He's going to have a little pressure from Eric for President here, who has been one of the people he has struggled to deal with. Let's see, Eric for President really come into his own in these last couple of maps, and honestly, he was doing pretty solid at the beginning of the series as well. We'll see what happens here. I mean, I like this. It's the same basic setup, right? They've got the 3 heading north. They've got 2 in that south. One's already actually crossed out all the way into the south. Eric for President, the only one here in sort of the mid lane.
It's going to see who first. I think Oculus is going to have the edge on Gamertag, but no, Gamertag moves at just the last second. Dr. Oculus now trying to push his way through the broken wall. If Gamertag continues to walk out from that container, he's going to walk right into Oculus. Dr. Oculus is field of fire, and there's the first shots. He's going to down Steve Nose, and that's also going to give Dr. Oculus some intel that he is there. So now you can see his weapon trained on that cargo container looking for anything, any sort of indication. And there it is. He's run out into the open. Dr. Oculus finds the shots.
One down.
Got to confirm that. We've been seeing a lot of lack of confirmations from Team Blue lately. That's been one of their weak points.
Yeah, even when they hear the teams, you know, the down players still talking and communicating, I was seeing a lot of times they were just still being just kind of left to die on the field.
Well, Lonely Viper does manage to deal with Eric for President there in the East HQ. And that's gonna close off a little bit of that offensive push. But if you notice, let's just hop over to his view here. Skiva is inside the hospital building. He has got himself in a nice little position here. He might be able to find the backside of one or two of these defenders as Alex VR cleans up. Gamertag finally with the confirm there. And now we're into a solidified 4v4.
Yeah, Team Blue's still doing fairly well. That pick in the north definitely going to help out that team of 3 since they're the ones who are going to be considered most combat effective here. Skiva, as long as he doesn't unnecessarily give himself away, has a bit of an advantage considering he is behind enemy lines. He's even snuck past the Sneck himself. And again, I feel like we saw this before on this objective against Team Red where Viper was kind of off the objective and slowly the enemy team peeled away his teammates and he was left kind of sprinting dead for the finale at the end of a round on this. So we could see Skiva if he's got a good little run going here and manages to pick up Nikki and MRTV, that could be real gangbusters for Team Blue and a bad thing for Team Green as both Jamesify and Viper are a bit of a distance off the objective.
Skiva's here kind of in a holding pattern. I think he's waiting for a little bit more pressure. Lonely Viper, though, coming in with those long-range shots. And SKS knocking out the rooftop member of the offense. In a good spot to even maybe pick off Alex here, because this is an elevated platform. He's going to have a line on him. Is he watching it? He's not. Backed off.
Skiva making his transition now.
Yeah, he's just on the south side of the center, what was previously known as the center burning building. MRTV should hear him, but he's being very, very quiet. He's sticking to the corner. He knows he's there now, but Skiva will see him at the last second and they'll get the trade. Skiva's still alive, however. Alex VR now at the nose of the fuselage. It's a good positioning. He's already taken down Jamesify, so he is clear from the west. He's just going to have to worry about Viper, who's now pushing his way in. Niki's going to get the kill onto Skiva. Alex will refrag, and Viper is there with the right sight line, and he'll grab another point for Team Green.
That sight line was exactly what he needed at exactly the right time. That could have been so I mean, it was basically a repeat of that last, of the round you mentioned where Lonely Viper was mad dashing back to the objective. But just in time there to pick up Alex VR, but a solid play from Team Blue. I mean, Alex VR with 6 kills. What a freaking round for him.
Yeah, an amazing map for him there.
Again, a map that could have gone completely different if Skeeve hadn't traded and had been able to pick up Nietzsche. Obviously, I can't remember. I'll be honest, I can't remember which of the 3 ways we're supposed to say that name anymore. Nikki?
Nikki. Yeah, it's Nikki.
All right,
yes,
Nikki, thank gosh. Anyway, could have completely different had he managed to take her down as well. That would have meant that the cap would have been wide open. Again, Alex with a great attack, and it's just that bad luck and bad timing as Viper picks him up on the cross. Again, a great attack from Team Blue from the north, from the south. Viper getting a transition into the east, shutting down part of that south push, but not enough to change the flow completely. Of course, from his position in the center, he's able to rain dominant fire across the north of the map, and then, of course, cut down the final attacker. So, could have gone either way. Again, it's one of those I keep saying coin flip situation, but, these are not cut and dry rounds. We're not seeing 5 versus, 1 stomps constantly. It's going down to 1 versus 1 far more often than I would have expected.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the score of the teams is not indicative of the kind of action we're seeing on the field. And we see that a lot in VRML games. You'll see matches that go 4-0, but it always goes down to a 1v1, or, it always goes down to a 2v2 situation as we get ourselves into the next round.
I believe in Team Blue. I believe in them. I think they can do it. I'm channeling all my hope and prayers into them right now. Come on, Team Blue. Keep it alive.
Yeah. That's what I feel like. Everybody wants to cheer for the underdog. I'm hoping the folks in the Oculus venues, the Gamescom streams, all the other places where you folks have tuned in, hopefully you're all cheering for the team and your favorite content creators, of course.
Yeah, of course.
And supporting them.
Support your content creators.
But everybody loves an underdog story, if we're going for
Cinderella story.
A Cinderella story, exactly. But yeah, do support all of these content creators, whenever you get a chance. Give them a little shout out. Say hello, and they put out some fantastic stuff, and you can see, I mean, they've got the time in VR. They put up a good fight even in games that are not sort of their staple. So really good stuff. We'll see how this works. Team Green crossing 3 out into the middle and 2 sticking here on the east. Lonely Viper and Gamertag. They seem to be this is like the pair, you know, Lonely Viper and Gamertag.
Yeah, this is the pair offs. Yeah,
they seem to always run together. So they've clearly got some, you know, base strategies down.
Luckily for them, I think both Nikki and Sebastian are German native speakers.
Yes, they are.
So, you know, that's kind of handy, especially if Project Jamesify, who I believe is a native English speaker, goes down. They can, you know, simplify their process by reverting to German. And not only does that help them by making them not have to, you know, translate everything they want to say basically in their head before saying it. Not that they don't speak good English. Please don't let me confuse people or make people think that I think that. But, you know, that's something, it's like having to translate literally every thought in your head into a different language before speaking. So by going to your native tongue, it just becomes easier. And the fact that if nobody understands German, they don't know what you're saying.
Ooh, Eric for president, Lonely Viper getting into a little standoff there. This has been the challenge for Viper. It has been Eric for president as often as I've been tuning in to this side of the battlefield. Eric giving up on that angle though, now coming to help with the approach here on the rooftop. He's taking shots out towards Sebastian. There, they do land. MRTV going down and out. Now it's a 4v5. Team Green down a man. Lonely Viper now getting aggressive on this approach. I don't think Eric's ready for this. I don't think he's going to be ready for Lonely Viper on this aggressive push. Oh, maybe I'm wrong. He checks the angle, but does he check it quick enough? The grenade flash coming out. Eric for president catching a bullet in the back, but rotating out just in time to get shot by Nikki. What a nice pickup by her.
That synchronicity comes in. Because Nikki was in the right position, his rotation was caught out, and she was able to capitalize on it and still get the kill for the team.
Just my apologies there. Snap to the wrong camera. Yeah, now we're starting to see the noose close here. Gamertag, VR, Nikki, Lonely Viper all pressuring the objective. They've still got to deal with Skiva and Dr. Oculus in the back. And as I say that, Lonely Viper deals with Skiva on that approach. Alex VR looking for one here. He should be able to find one. He does. He's going to push the corner. Is he going to find Viper, or will Viper pop the corner first? This may come down to a trade. No, VR does. Alex VR does find the pick there, and now it's a 1v2. 2 defenders left. Steve knows doesn't quite have sightlines on the objective. That smoke is good. Gamertag VR, the last member of the offense remaining. This would be for the win. If he can clutch this 1v2, this will take the series and the map, and you know, who knows, maybe the entire thing. We don't know that just yet. But he has
Alex's repositioning could actually put him more at a disadvantage than his previous positioning. But I understand the feeling and the need for it, especially with that smoke on the objective. Gamertag's calling for some assistance over from Viper on the call from earlier, but no one is there. Reminder to the folks at home and those watching, you can check on the number of your teammates left by just pulling out that tablet on your back, and Gamertag barely escaping death there as Alex comes around. Will he be able to catch him before he rounds the corner? And he does! Team Blue managed to skirt away with a point here on the map and stay alive in the series.
Man, Alex VR on fire.
Yeah, he put his hands on his hips and just took a real deep breath there at the end. He has been putting in the work. He is up 9 kills. What a great series by him there, and to clutch that round, keep him in the series, fantastic.
Instrumental in every one of the defenses so far and the attacks. Just then we see him taking down Lonely Viper, taking down Gamertag VR, being the guy who basically stops the cap, stops the push-in. We saw Skeeve stopping a flank as well. So great plays from Team Blue all around as they struggle just to stay in 2 versus 2, 2 versus 1. 1 point in it before Team Green takes the series, but still Team Blue hanging on.
It is. It's tight. I mean, this is a tough fight for any team, really, and Team Blue is rising to the occasion for sure. You know, honestly, and I'm going to go out on a limb here and just say that I'd love to see this happen again. You know, whether it's at Gamescom, whether we're involved, whatever the case is, I would love to see these content creators go at it on a regular basis, because this is some really great Onward that, you know, you watch League long enough and you sort of get used to the say, okay, he's going here, he's doing this play, he's going to sit in this corner and wait for this long. You know, you kind of get into this standard rhythm of the meta, and to watch, you know, 3 off meta teams go at it like this and still have these amazing competitive games, it's just so great to see. And I hope it's letting people know who are watching in venues, who are watching at Gamescom, who either have VR, don't have VR, but are thinking about it, whatever the case is, you know, these people, most of these content creators have not spent a lot of time in this game, and you can be competitive with very little effort and training, and of course that comes with time. So I'm hoping people at home are saying, wow, I can absolutely get into this, because you know, the more people we get in, the stronger we are as a community, and the better content and the better stuff that we can churn out. So hopefully this is inspiring some new folks. We'll hopefully see you guys in the league and in other events in the future, or as content creators. And a big thank you to Cybershoes for bringing it all together as well. You know,
Absolutely.
just want to make sure to keep calling them out, and hopefully you're checking out the streams of these individual streamers and checking out how they use the Cybershoes product to move around in the game. Really awesome stuff. But we have got a game to wrap up here. Let's see if Team Blue can continue to stay alive, as they've got an offensive approach here. I mean, Team Blue is Team Cap. Can we just rename them to Team Cap? They have capped the most objectives so far. I think Team Green is maybe tied with them. I think they've gotten 3 caps. Maybe just 2? No,
Yes.
is it?
Team Green has gotten 3 caps.
Okay.
Team Blue has only gotten 2.
Interesting. Okay, so we'll see if they can capitalize here and even things out then with Green. Lonely Viper on the repeat on that. On that angle, does find Dr. Oculus nice and early. It's got to be frustrating. You know, you're just in the round for 30 seconds and Viper just blows your head off, and then SKS at some ridiculous range. Don't worry, Dr. Oculus. If you're watching this, I know the feeling. I am usually the one who dies within the first 30 to 60 seconds of every match. So
yeah,
that's
my role on our team. If it's not hide and just talk on the radio about how many of us are left in our time, it's run out in front of us so you die first.
It's just I'm going to go run out so you know exactly where the bullets are coming from, and you can get the refrag, rest of my team.
Just stand on a corner and go, okay, look for the flashes, and run out.
Yeah.
Don't give anyone warning.
So here's the interesting play here. Gamertag VR pushed out so far in the east, he actually has a beautiful line onto Steve Nose right now. This could...
He's got 2 there. He's going to have Alex, too, at some point.
Yeah, he's just got to peek it. He's just got to peek it right now. He's looking for it. Glances over, doesn't see him. It's that camouflage. That camo is just so effective. There he is. He spots him out.
Him now.
Boom, the shots come out.
I think he saw the movement from Alex too. Yeah, but he's not going to find the angle. Some recent rock discoveries from those pesky archaeologists have added some blockages. They've unearthed ancient alien uplinks in the sunken aircraft fuselage, and now they've got ancient rock
by the way, we're
formations.
just making up lore for the game. I just want to be clear. There is no lore for these. We're just kind of having a bit of fun. But yes, there are some new pieces of cover here, and that's going to help Alex VR make this approach. And he's in a good spot right now.
Yeah, he's in a hole in the defense, real bad.
They've got to be careful. And Eric for President's not too far behind him, but he's going to have to deal with Gamertag VR if he opts to make this cross. And I don't think he knows that he exists just yet. He's sending a bit of pre-fire down. An angle. I wonder if he was shooting. Was he shooting a Viper there? I actually didn't see the full line. Yeah, it looks like he was shooting at the rooftop, but a little bit too long out on that angle, and he will be downed by Gamertag. Those shots alerting Alex VR to that position, though. He might clean up. If he can clean up Gamertag, get the res, there's still a possibility.
Think Alex might get the refrag here because of a lack of attention. Yep, Alex has got line of sight.
Not yet. The hill is still in his way. Call-outs of right there. We all know how helpful that is in VR when there's infinite amount of
There's a lot of right there's around him right now. Where you got to give him something more than that. You got to give him something, a landmark to use, preferably, even if it's just generic, like gray house, gray building, dead ahead. is usually
Ooh,
better
the
than just saying
footsteps.
right there, right
Gamertag
there.
now
Not
aware
that's-
that the element of surprise is gone here. Alex VR.
Don't
Oh,
get
no.
him. Come
Oh,
get
no,
me.
no,
I
no.
love it.
Oh, no, no,
Oh,
no.
you
This
gotta
is
be
so
quicker than that.
dangerous. Gamertag VR coming around the
turn
corner.
Around, turn around. Eric should know to look for it. He finds the
Oh.
trade before going down. At least he knows he got the guy who killed him or downed him originally.
Yeah, but
so
does
his
Alex
life is
VR
not
know
lost
that?
in vain.
Viper's right behind him though. And there
Oh
it is.
no, Viper with the cleanup. Skiva looking for that pick. Skiva the last one alive. Trying to keep the dream alive for Team Blue, but it may not happen. This is an almost insurmountable position to be in. You know, very rarely do we see huge clutches, but hey, if Skiva was going to pull one off, now would be the time to do it. He's hearing Viper.
Viper.
Who isn't hearing Viper? I mean, let's be serious. Viper drops his gun. What a perfect time to come around the corner that would have been for Skiva, but he's looking for him. He's checking this angle. Viper's not... Oh, he just crest the hill. The timing. Skiva.
He was not happy. He missed that. Now he's going to be blind. That perfectly thrown flash, and Nikki going to be the one to clean up the shots onto Skiva, grabbing Team Green their 4th point, their 2nd map, and the series here against Team Blue.
Yeah, that was quite a series. A well-fought match by
Nikki,
Team
bless
Blue.
her.
Team Captain Alex VR doing a great job there.
Good game, everyone.
Not quite enough.
Well
Team
done,
Green on
Nikki.
an absolute tear through that series, and a great job by them. Everybody on that team, a fantastic effort. Wow.
Yeah, Viper really shutting down all hopes of them right
You
at the
did,
start,
Alex.
taking
You were
down,
on fire, dude.
I'll cover TV.
You were
Oculus
amazing.
straight away. Out of the gates, taking him down. That really puts your team on a negative foot, knowing there's 4 of you, knowing there's an enemy who's already got oversight on you. Then, of course, Gamertag VR pushing around on that aggressive flank, finding 2 of them, and, of course, allowing Viper to then clean up the remaining flanker, and then that just leaves one attacker left, which, of course, Nikki then picks up. So, great defense by Team Green. Good, aggressive pushing by Gamertag VR. Team Blue did not do anything wrong. Really, really hopeful Reds. It's a shame that Alex couldn't find Gamertag VR, but it is what it is. Gamertag VR played that perfectly, picked up 2 kills, shut down that flank, and allowed Lonely Viper to close it off completely.
Absolutely, a fantastic analysis there, that final round, and a really great matchup between all of these teams today. It has been an absolute blast casting this. So I believe I can say, without needing a confirmation at this point, that Team Green is going to be the overall winner of the Cybershoes VIP tournament here today. And just a final look at who is on that Team Green team. We'll just play Jamesify there as the captain, Gaming Lady Nikki, Gamertag VR, Lonely Viper, and MRTV. Fantastic play from Team Green. Really good job for Team Blue and Team Red. You guys put on a hell of a fight. It has been an absolutely amazing series.
Well, and also just to clarify the rest of the standings. Obviously, congratulations to Team Green, who not only had to wait to start their day, like they had to watch that first series, which went on for a while because Blue and Red really duked it out there in the first series. But unfortunately, without being able to pull off a win, Team Red does secure 2nd place with their 1 series win in their matchup against Team Blue earlier. But Team Blue, can't be said enough. Like, such a great effort. I mean, I literally can see the team improving like round after round throughout this event and throughout this tournament. So I think everyone did great. No one should beat themselves up. I was really happy with the games that we were awarded here today and the series that we got, and it made for some great times and a nice thing to do here while we've been at a bit of a hiatus on the normal VRML for Onward.
Thank you.
I am so proud of you guys.
I got cramp. I've had cramp in my left leg twice. Fuck. Bye. Bye.
Oh my god.
What's good fun, man? You're right. Holy
Yes!
Oh, Nikki, I told you it'd be okay.
Oh my god!
I told you it'd be fine. Well done. Well done.
Ja,
Mit den anderen
you did
und wir
great.
sehen uns dann im Discord.
You did great as well, man. Congratulations.
Oh mein Gott.
Great.
Amazing.
Guys, well played.
See you later, Steve. Take care, man.
Bye, mate.
Alright.
See you later, dude. Bye bye. I don't know where we're going now.